You guys, it's Jeffrey Howells Carpet Cleaning here, and it is Tuesday, March 6th, and this is probably the most beautiful weather we've had as of yet today. So we've got this job. It looks like it's I don't know what condition the house is in, but they did a whole bunch of work in here. It looks like they're painting and all sorts of stuff downstairs. It looks like they did all kinds of remodeling upstairs. No carpeting downstairs, so we are going to be upstairs. We are currently looking up the stairways, looking down because I am inside. I'll do a quick walkthrough and show you. We got tons of debris on the carpeting, probably from a bunch of work that they were doing. And I haven't walked through here, so I don't even know how many bedrooms we're going to be doing yet. So obviously, we've got this hallway here, not terribly big. We've got one bedroom, closet, really good size for a closet. We've got two bedrooms and another closet. I guess that's pretty standard. So we're not going to obviously be able to get back in there. And you can see that there's some filtration along there and along the wall. That is either filtration or paint. I have a feeling that they're probably not going to want to go along and clean that up, because that's going to be a lot of work, a lot of product. Whenever you start just pulling the pog out, that's when the dollars go up. And I've got our low battery indicator on the fire alarms going off. Okay, bedroom number 3. Pretty typical. And master bedroom number 4. So we got 4 bedrooms in a hallway. So this is not going to be bad at all. The carpets do look pretty worn. They are very well matted down, but I believe this is a nylon knit, and it's coming out and it's coming undone. So this is so smashed down that there's no way that this is going to come back up. Actually, I take that back. This is probably a polyester, and I'm not actually testing the fiber as of yet. I'm just looking at it, and there is no walk-in closet. So what I'm going to be doing today is I'm going to do our 3-phase cleaning system. I think any carpet cleaning, regardless of the method, can be broken down to 3 phases. And what that is your pre-vacuum being phase 1. You got a host of carpet cleaners that don't even do the pre-vacuum. So any of you guys who are doing a pre-vacuum, you're light years ahead of everyone else already. And the customer knows that too, because that's one thing that I've done to price shoppers. I've told price shoppers, you know, this is one of my bait tricks that I use on a price shopper, is that I tell them, hey, when you call the next guy, just make sure that they pre-vacuum, because that is like absolutely critical. And I've had customers call me back, 15-20 minutes later, saying that they couldn't find any other carpet cleaner that actually pre-vacuumed, and they went ahead and booked with me, because just planting that seed in their mind made them aware of what potential damage could be caused by the debris that are on the carpet. So that right there has converted for me a lot of price shoppers, and I continue using that strategy. So what we're doing is we're doing our phase 1, the pre-vacuum, and then we move to phase 2, which we're going to be laying down our pre-spray. We're going to be using the sodium carbonate along with peroxide in this particular unit, because there aren't tons of standing due to kids and dogs and all that. And then we are going to agitate using the CRB. Who knows how old these carpets are and what was been in here in the past. I don't smell any odors from animals, but the sodium carbonate will take care of any of the odors that could possibly be lingering around in the carpet. And then upon the agitation with our CRB, then we move into phase 3, which is our truck managed steam cleaning process. So what we're doing is a very, very thorough, heavy duty cleaning process here today. And if you have any questions, or comments or anything, be sure to leave them in the comment space below, because I do these videos because I really want to, try to help as many people out as I possibly can. Just because, I feel like, I've learned so much over the years, and, I owe it to pay it forward to help out anybody else who's trying to get into the business or learn a few tips here and there. By maximizing the airflow and setting our vacuum to the proper height of the carpet, we were able to extract at least 50 to 60% of a full Kirby bag of debris out of the carpeting, mostly in the form of sand and dirt, and then of course you saw the little debris and paper and paint and chips of wood and all that sort of stuff scattered about on the carpeting, and it picked all that up as well. So we are ready to head on into phase 2. I'll pull that equipment out of the van and get it all staged up here, and then I like getting equipment moved and pushed out of the way just so it doesn't become a hazard for having to work around a whole bunch of equipment. So I like to keep the vacuum and all that sort of stuff out on the front porch until after we're done, and then we load the truck back up. So what we're going to do is we're just going to continue pulling items out that we need. The next one's going to be the sprayer and the CRB, and we'll go ahead and get that stuff set up and ready to go. And we'll spray and CRB each room one by one, at which point we will be ready for extraction, and then we'll just go ahead and move that stuff down. Fire up the truck, bring the lines and hoses up, and by then the water will be up to temperature, and we'll be ready to give everything a good steam clean. Alright, so we're heading into phase 2 of our cleaning process. It's a 2-step process, like I mentioned before. We put down our pre-spray solution, and then we use our CRV to agitate, and I'll get in and give a little bit more demo of what this machine actually does, but it pretty much scrubs the carpets. So we're going to put this solution down. I know that I said that we were going to use sodium carbonate and peroxide. I've changed it up a little bit because after examining these carpets, they are very old. Have absolutely no idea, what their age is. They do have filtration lines around all of the corners. What I will do is take our crevice tool around it as complementary and just kind of give it a good, a good vacuum along there. Because really all it is dirt that has collected over the years, and it is pretty, it gets caked in there. Sometimes you just need to get down on with a scrub brush on your hands and knees and scrub that stuff out of there. However, I am not going to spend the time to do it because it's going to take a lot of work to go around the every single room. And I do know that I don't think that they want to pay for that, because there's a lot more labor intensive at that point. It requires a lot more time, and it also requires a lot more product to go that far. And I don't believe we're going to be doing that today. However, it is an option, you guys. Anything is an option. So again, like I said, we're just going to go ahead and pre-spray. I am using the Commercial Magic. I had about 4 gallons of it pre-made up already, and I'm just going to go ahead and use it. It does have a pH of about 12 and a half or so right in there. These carpets definitely need more pH than about the 9 or 10 that the sodium carbonate and peroxide solution would have given. So actually it probably would have been a little less, because peroxide, it has a low pH, so it would have possibly offset the organic 9 that the sodium carbonate has. It may have dropped it down to like an 8.5 or something like that. I don't know how much it affects it. I should probably get some litmus paper and actually run the test myself, just so I better understand the products that I am using And I urge you guys to explore with your products and do the same thing, just so that you know your particular product inside and out. And that will be another, another video is describing and knowing your products, because really, company XYZ uses brand ABC and company ABC uses brand XYZ, and to be honest, pretty much the chemistry is pretty much the same on all of those products. There isn't one that's necessarily so much better than the other, as long as the person that's using them understands how they work and uses them properly. So that's pretty much the gist of carpet cleaning solutions, as having an educated technician doing the work that actually knows his product and how to make the best use of it. So that's what we're doing, and I know the best use of the product that I'm using right now is to spray it down and to agitate it well. We are going to use a tray, and we're going to try to lift out as much debris out of here as possible, which I'll go further into detail when we move into that part B of the agitation process. So this is our CRB that we're going to be using for agitation. CRB stands for counter rotating brush, and as you can see that blue brush down there, I'm going to go ahead and rotate it over onto its side so you can see underneath it. As you can see, there's two brushes down there, and they do rotate counterclockwise from each other, and what they do is they gently groom the carpet. Now also notice that it's lifting and up. It's gently lifting. These are very soft brushes. It's gently uplifting on the pile of the carpeting. So the combs, or the teeth of combs or brushes or hairs of the brush, or whatever you want to call them, are sifting through the carpet. And so if there is any matted hair or lint or anything like that, it will pick it up out of the carpet, unlike other rotary equipment that's actually spinning directly on the ground and more of a crushing action. It's not grooming or uplifting any piling at all. And so there are two collection trays. I only have one on the back at the moment, and what that does is that allows me to get as close to the walls as I possibly can without banging into them, because you can see the collection tray is probably a good 3 to 4 inches wide, so that allows us to get that much closer to the walls and the floorboards. And it picks up anything and it throws them into that container. However, the front wheels do a lot better job of picking stuff up than the back, just because of the way that the machine rotates. So if I notice that there's a lot of debris in this carpet, I will then elect to either put on a front one or just swap the back one for the front. So I like doing that because it makes it more convenient. Like I said, you can get close to the wall baseboards without bashing in and scraping things up. So we are very careful and mindful of everything that we do. So that's the purpose for it. So without further ado, I'm going to go ahead and give us a go. And as you can see, the carpeting already looks better just with the pre-spray. However, we do get a night and day difference. Like just so to note, this area here in front of the closet, all those spots there, I'll go ahead and show you again all these spots once we are doing our agitation with the CRB. Again, this is just the soil suspension process of phase 2, so we're not actually extracting anything, we're just releasing everything from the carpet fibers themselves, like the residue, breaking down the bonds between the dirt and the residue that's in the carpeting, so that when you go over with the powerful truck-mounted steam cleaning, you're basically just rinsing the carpets at that point, much like rinsing dishes off in the sink. So when you use an SOS pad and some soap, you're just basically, you can almost just dip the dishes into a bath of warm water, and all that gunk comes right off the plate without any effort whatsoever. And that's sort of the same analogy with the carpet cleaning. We're going to be doing the same thing. We're not going to be most carpet cleaning, hot water extraction pushes their PSI to 450, 600, you name it, depending on what they use or what they're comfortable with. For us, we like to drop our PSI down to about 200, so we are a good 2/3 to a half of what the other companies, leading carpet cleaners use. And what that does is it allows us to reduce the water consumption so that your carpets actually get less wet and they dry twice as fast or more because of that, because we're actually putting less water on your carpeting, but we're also conditioning the carpets so that they have the ability to release the debris with less water. So it's not less clean. You make up for it with vegetation. You use less water in your rinse. So that's what we're doing, because that's what I like. I like fast drying carpets, and I also like the fact that I'm not filling up the waste tank in my van as nearly as quickly. So with a thing like this, running it like this at 200 psi, we can probably do 3 or 4 jobs without filling up the tank. However, if we're running 600 psi, we generally will fill the tank on one single job. So there you have it. So if you guys are compensating, trying to figure out what you're doing and how to make more room, in your waste tank and that sort of thing on the job, it has to do with the amount of water that you're actually consuming and sucking up off the floor. A little bit of more agitation, you can get away with a little bit less water. Okay, no extraction done yet, but as you can see, there is quite a bit of soiling left in the carpeting here. But I just want to do a quick walk through this room. The transformation of this cut loop nylon carpeting, I have absolutely no idea how old it is, but it did clean up very nicely. It looks almost awesome, except for I did put our pre-spray up all the way to the floorboard as much as I possibly could. That way it's sitting in there dwelling, so when we go back with the crevice tool later, just to edge out the rooms, we can get as much of that up as we possibly can. But as you can see, like these spots over here, you would be amazed at what the CRB can do. If at first the spots don't come out, you just turn around and you go at it from a different angle. Generally, when I'm going over an area, I'll come at it back and forth, and then I'll come at it perpendicular. And then a lot of times you just kind of have to work your way around in a circle, to thoroughly scrub everything. And there is some, looks like some permanent staining in there that probably isn't going to come out, because I'm sure it's discoloration and stuff in the padding that is not going to come out with a hot water extraction or a wand. So whether it can be removed or not, I don't know. I kind of thinking not. It's probably an area that has to be replaced if they're wanting it 100%, but we're not doing that. And yeah, the rest of it looks pretty awesome. Most of this should rinse out, because a lot of this is just dirt and stuff that's been smashed down. And some of it might be discoloration, because when the carpet padding in certain areas and the carpet that the fabrics or the fibers themselves get smashed down, they're not standing up straight, and they're kind of all standing around in different directions, and the light is not reflecting off of it straight back to your eye like it should be. It's kind of coming at it from all different angles. So depending on where you're looking at it, the shadowing may change as well. And Nick of Gold Coast Flooring, if you go onto his website and look him up, sorry, not his website, but YouTube, and look up Gold Coast Flooring, he does have a couple of excellent videos explaining exactly what happens when carpet fibers get crushed down and everything. However, nylon carpeting is generally quite a bit more resilient than the cheaper polyester carpets. So in here, we are going to be saved by the bell per se, just because we've got some better, higher quality carpet. And as dirty as these looked, this room is actually looking pretty sweet. So if this is going to be foreshadow the rest of the job, I'm going to go ahead and go through and pre-spray everything and give it a CRB, but I just wanted to give a quick show and tell as to what we were able to accomplish in here, and it looks absolutely beautiful. So when we come back, we will be moving on to phase 3. So upon CRBing everything, all the rooms actually turned out really, really good. Those are a couple burns there. Those aren't going to come out. But the rest of the place looks absolutely beautiful. It's primed and ready for a steam cleaning. In fact, if we were just doing VLM, mission complete, we'd probably just come by with a little bit of POG and dab these spots up, and then we'd be done. However, the CRB, let's take a look at the debris that we were able to pull out. We pulled out this tray. This tray was completely empty when we started, and we only did 4 bedrooms, and we weren't aggressively going over anything, really. We were just sifting this junk out of the carpet, and that's all stuff in there that the pre-vacuum missed. So we filled up a half a Kirby bag, and then we filled up another, quite a bit of debris in there. I'm not going to dump it out. Because of the size of the tray, it doesn't look like a whole lot, but that's actually quite a bit of debris. Okay, you guys, always tie off your hoses so you're not having to fight gravity. That invisible theory, magical force, it only exists for the purpose of explaining the solar system and all that. So whether or not gravity is for real or not in the center of mass, who knows, because there's no way to test it. So we also put our corner guards up so we're not rubbing against anything. And we're going ahead and we are cleaning this all up, and it's looking absolutely beautiful. Went ahead and we just scheduled a job with the neighbor for next week. So we will be back in this neighborhood to do another job shortly. And it's all about value perceived by the customer, because she was trying to tell me about some coupon that she got in the mail, and she was wanting me to price match it. And of course, I'm way over what the coupon was even at. And basically what I did is I bargained with her and said, hey, look, if you do a pre-vacuum, I can cut off X number of dollars. So it was just to provide that perceived value. Technically, I want to do a vacuum, but in this case, I'm willing to let it slide because she just has a little baby and no pets or anything in the house. So I already know that the carpet is probably going to be very unsoiled. It's just going to go through and neutralize, sanitize, and deodorize. For the little one to be crawling around on the ground. So with that said, you guys come up with any creativity that you can to compete with those guys that are, those price shoppers that are always trying to cut you down. You can bargain right back at them.